The star of today's video is this Yamaha Majesty. I think this is a 400cc. It's a scooter style motorcycle. No gears, just hit the throttle and go. I thought I was going to use it. Bought it several years ago, 2019. It's now 2024. Never got my license, never rode it, never got my M license, motorcycle license. Never rode it, never registered it, just kept it because I thought I was going to use it. Not going to use it. Time to get rid of it. So now that it's been sitting outside for several years, we have much worse condition than it was even in already, which it has several blemishes and bruises and things already. But now, because I kept it outside, I can barely even see through the windshield. The seat has several cracks where you can see the foam showing through. Also one up there. It's just dirty everywhere. Now the clear coat is coming off of that. That wasn't even a thing before. Not a show queen by any means. So what I want to do is just get it ready for sale. And for starters, I got the old battery out, and the other battery I haven't, well, what was a new battery, now it's been sitting for about a year or two. So it's got to be better than that one, because that one couldn't even hold the charge. So hasn't been started in a while. So let's get it started. Let's get it cleaned up. I have another, it came with another one of these, because even that, when I got it, it wasn't brand new. It wasn't really clear. I know you could sand these a little bit and buff them, but I don't think it has the nameplates there, and I also don't think it has these side shields, if I remember right. It's just kind of straight down. So I might replace that if I can figure out how. But the bike's all there. It's a wonderful running machine, but just never gets used. So let's see what we can do to get it ready for sale. Gotta figure out or release the seat there. And then one of the things I'll be fixing today is these push pins. Originally it had these it's for the back. It's for the battery cover back here. The pins pushed through the plastic, and then there was like a pin that pushed in. And the first 5 minutes I had it, it came off and went skidding down the highway and ruined all that. So it just doesn't hold. Cottonwood and everything else. It's supposed to go in there and hold it. It's supposed to expand out, but they just pull out. So I'm going to try to get some kind of nut in there, glue some nut in there, and then actually put a screw from the inside that somebody could just take out real quick, because you might need access, because if I remember right, there was some it's the battery compartment, but I think it's also, there were some fuses. Let's see. I think the fuses are in here. So you just might need access to that. So anyway, I got to get this all prepped, cleaned up, and then we'll have something to work with. Put the battery in there, and then like I said, I'm going to try to put some kind of a nut in there so I can put an actual screw so this thing doesn't fly off on the next guy, because I had no idea it was even loose when I got it, and as soon as I took off down the highway, it fell off on me. So let's not make the problem repeat. All right, I selected some hardware. Big washers for the inside. Screw, bolt, whatever you call yours. And the nut, I'm going to try to put it in there and glue it. But the problem is it won't quite fit right now. So I'm going to grind down the sides of that nut just a little bit to get that to just barely slide in there. And then I'll need just a minimum of glue just to retain it. So as you're putting the bolt through the other side with the washer, it doesn't pop out of there. I'll grind that and I'll bring you back. Note to self, these are very hot when you grind them, even just a little bit. Okay, got those. So they go in there now. See how I got that? And I'm just gonna put a little epoxy putty there. I'm gonna use epoxy putty because I want something with a little body that'll stay there real good, not like so brittle like super glue might be. For this video, I'm gonna use PC11. There's a two-part, part A, part B, mix half and half. PC7 is the same stuff, it's just not waterproof. Good product, link in the description below. It's very much like a putty, so it doesn't run away from the area you're putting it on, which is why I like it. Let's not double dip in our glue here. Let me clean this off so I don't put some of the hardener in the resin part and start kicking off the whole batch. I don't think that can happen, but maybe it could. Get about the same amount. Like most epoxies, you just mix it together. Now this is not a quick dry product. This is why I'm doing this part before I even start working on the rest of the machine, so that hopefully this stuff will be dry and ready to put back in when I'm ready. Mixed up about 4 times more than I needed. Trying to make sure it's pretty centered in that hole. It's got a lot of play on the bike side where the nut goes through. That's why I need the washers to begin with. Whoop, whoop. Good. All right, I got the new battery, the old battery. Terminals on the same side. Good. I took the other one off years ago, so don't know exactly how the wires are supposed to run in there, but let's at least get started on how these things work. Pretty much basic stuff, right? Okay. I don't know if these are like other batteries where you could have negative, positive, positive, negative reversals. Do they make the batteries both ways, or are all motorcycle batteries similar that the positive's always on the right side or whatever? Anyway, let's get to it. Got that all set. Positive over here. The cover doesn't like to stay on where it's supposed to be, but anyway. So on this, long tab toward the back on the elastic piece, short tab toward the front, and it goes in sideways, I think. And then mine had a little fuse for the taillight wire hanging that I found back there before I put the battery. I put that in, Now this is ready to be wrapped up. I got the wires tucked in a way that I think they'll stay out of the way, and we're good to go. And before we get ahead of ourselves here, let's see if this thing wants to turn over for us. What do we have to have? That has to be on. What am I missing here? I got no power at all. I'll bet you that brand new battery's dead because I've had it sitting for so long. Booster pack coming up. Booster pack's on. Let's see what we have. Okay, we got a fuel pump. I got a light. Dash is lighting up. Trying to give it full throttle here. No throttle. Now my fuel gauge is blinking, which means it's out. Okay, let's start with the easy stuff. I'm going to start with the fluid extractor. I do see some fluid or fuel in there, but as I know, it's at least a year and a half old, if not longer. So I'll do the extracting and I'll bring it back. All right, got some fuel in her. No good. And I'll tell you what I'm not hearing. I thought the fuel pump always runs when you turn the key on. Maybe that's just until it builds pressure for the first time. But I'm not hearing that. Nothing. All right, let's try feeding it some fuel. Let me find the air filter. This is what happens when we, I think it was in here. This is what happens when we let stuff sit. I am not immune. You run the battery out, then you got old fuel, and or whatever else happened here. Something that doesn't want to cooperate. I think it was in here if I remember right. It's so bright out here in the sun, I can't hardly see where the screws are. Do I gotta do this one too? Man, lots of them. Is that right? Oh. Here's one. Yeah. Over here too. Let me get a flathead to try to pull that off without making marks all over it. Okay. What else? Really? Okay, I got to figure this out. I'll bring it back. All right, if anybody is following along at home, the last screw was right in here. I put this one here back. That one doesn't have to be taken out. There's your air filter. Mine's brand new. I remember putting that on when I bought it. Went through the whole thing as if I was going to use it for myself. So, at least don't need that. What I'm going to do, the intake is up in there, the tube. I'm going to spray some and then try to start and see if that fuel will make it run. Now I heard my fuel pump go. Oh yeah. Come on, girl. That's all it needed was a little help. Oh, thank God. Okay, I located the new windshield that it came with. As I remember, now it is an actual Yamaha part. Didn't know that. It says Mitsubishi, whatever, Plasco, whatever. Looks like the right one. It definitely doesn't have the protection for the hands, and it's not as tall. But other than that, it looks like she'll go in there. Now, I don't understand these three, how you get in there yet to, I assume there's some push pins or some bolts or something. It's got some give to it, but it doesn't come out, so I'm not really sure what holds that. So I got to do some research. Okay, took a little break there. Luckily the sun's going away from this area now. A little cooler for me, and was able to get a good look at some videos online. And there's two screws under here, and I think they're actually hex. Let me get that driver. Might have lost some audio there. My mic turned off. That mic isn't supposed to turn off. I think it uses the camera one if it doesn't have the one, my wireless mic. But if you didn't hear, don't torque these very much. They're only holding it in place, and they will break the head clean off it if you go to over torque them, as I found out with my automatic screw gun minutes ago. All right, I get those all torqued up and I'll bring you back. All right, I got that hardware as good as it's going to get. And let's see. These are the two screws that go in. We got two pins that go down, two clips at the end. So let's see if we can get this all put in there how it's supposed to go. Okay, got those two. Top one pin. That's it. Let's get the two hex screws. All right, now admittedly I do have to wipe it down a little bit, but boy oh boy, is that a nice clear windshield. Good. We're in good shape. All right, I got you zoomed in there on the headlight area, and let me move the camera a little bit just to try to let you be able to see. There is some fog on that lens. Just trying to make it make sense what I'm doing here. So we're going to see if we can improve that. Now, what I'm going to try is just some, I happen to be using Norton liquid ice polishing compound. I'm going to try just doing it by hand, just to show folks at home that it can be done without any fancy equipment, but I may end up having to get the polisher out. But basically what we're doing is we're just abrading that surface just a little bit and getting off that outside oxidized area. And all you need is you can go, there's, you know, toothpaste polish, whatever, just anything with abrasive in it. Soft scrub. I'm just going to see if this is bad enough where we have to take out the power equipment, or if we're going to be able to get this by hand. There's all these YouTube videos of these amazing things. You just spray it on and lemon juice and whatever. I'm just trying this by hand first and seeing if we can get there. Yeah, we're going to be able to get there by hand. So anyway, I'm going to do that on both sides of the headlight, and I'll bring you back. Much better. Now all I got to do is I'm going to clean up the wheels once I get it out of where it's sitting right now, so I can rotate it and work on all the wheels. Clean up the wheels, put on that back panel, and I hereby declare that bike Wildwood certified and ready for sale. Thanks for watching.